This is absolutely nuts and terrifying. And it just, I mean, I don't know that this really encapsulates why things are so effed up in this country, but you would imagine that there would be a greater outcry by people for the extended unemployment benefits, for the earned income tax. I mean, there is no sort of consistent outlet where people are screaming about the injustice of this. And part of it is simply because of the way that our society is fashioned. There's no financial incentive for people to do that, or there's no funding for it. But there is funding for this, and it's really disturbing. You're going to think this is a parody for the first 30 seconds. And then your heart's going to break and you're going to realize this is real. Play this as number 13. It's an ad. It's an ad.
Oh, I saw this already.
Good day. I just sent my kids off to school. But do I really know what I will be getting back? Honestly, this is troubling. I mean, let's face it. Our kids are being virtually brainwashed by woke messages in schools and in children's literature. Why teach young children that something is inherently wrong with their body, their color, or their country? Why not teach values such as personal responsibility, courage, freedom, and the willingness to sacrifice for such values?
Yeah.
Don't even get me started on the quality of the storytelling, as my beloved grandma would say.
That's about as lame as a horse overdue for the glue factory.
Oh my God.
That's why I was so happy when my good friend Christine told me about Heroes of Liberty.
A new biography series for children that was created to do something that once was obvious. A great story.
Oh my God.
Who lived inspiring lives and who were devoted to the values that made this country great.
Oh, cake
These
making.
books are created by world-class illustrators and writers and are delightful and as American as apple pie. I bought this. We can't change the school systems overnight, but we can reclaim these magical moments of bedtime.
She's crying.
Yeah, please read me the Amy Coney Barrett one, Mom, again.
I'll tell you something. I found this just terrifying.
Yes.
Because they came off, first off, she looks strikingly similar to Kirsten Sinema, and but the attitude is right there, right? It's sort of like a new
spunky,
hip, but it's also sort of like self-deprecating and it's deconstructive. Like, I bought this pie. Like this is incredibly sophisticated propaganda, it seems to me, and it's terrifying. And the images in a bad situationist, or if you've seen Parallax View, that the series of images when they're talking about the history, same idea. I'm going to juxtapose, Amy Coney Barrett and Ronald Reagan with George Washington and Lincoln,
and the Tin Man,
and the Tin Man, and the Westerners, the Western set. That was crazy. What is that supposed to be?
Well, when she says it's American as apple pie, too, let's not get it twisted. They're also very deliberate in the way that the two women in the ad and their children are racially. I mean, that's
John Wayne,
apple pie is German.
Thomas Sowell was. They did the book about Sowell.
Good for them.
Unbelievable.
Who's behind this? Do we have a sense of the group that's nothing?
Don't know.
Hidden some C4 LLC.
Don't know. Hillsdale College. I mean, honestly, it's all the same money. It really is. It's really extraordinary. And we have nothing like that. I mean,
We do though. I mean, there are a lot of like independent bookstores. It's just, see, I differ. Like I go to these stores and I get my friends' kids these books. They're really cute books about like women in leadership and like how to be an astronaut, how to be like president, blah, blah. We have that. And it's wonderful that we have that. They just,
it's well funded on their end, and they have a propaganda effort to push it forward. And they have fear base. Like there's no similar mobilization on the left where parents are like, I'm terrified that my children are being indoctrinated into the right in our schools. And like, yes, in red areas, I think that's a legitimate concern or whatever. But the reality is that kids, there's a reason that the younger generation is almost always to the left of their parents' generation. And that's because you can't avoid the woke indoctrination. Kids are just too kind-hearted, and they eventually figure it out for the most part.
As also our country, I mean, I partly don't think this is going to work. And it's not supposed to hit everybody. It's supposed to hit just a few here. It's like when you have the map, when you have the courts, when you probably going to have the Senate and Congress, it doesn't matter if you're trying to indoctrinate every single kid in America. It just matters that you have 20% of the next generation or 15% or whatever that is, because this is a undeniably more diverse generation than ever before. And they're fighting that, and they know that that's what they're fighting.
Also, just for some context, one of the editors of these books is Bethany Mandel. And here is a tweet she had about COVID.
You cut out.
Well, we'll read it here. Heroes, you can call me a grandma killer. I'm not sacrificing my home, food on the table, all of our docs and dentists, every form of pleasure, museums, zoos, and restaurants, all my kids' teachers in order to make other people comfortable. If you want to stay locked down, do. I'm not. Okay, so she actually does want to sacrifice docs and dentists and teachers and grandma.
Well, not hers. She just wants to make sure that there's enough of a supply to keep providing them for her. I also would imagine that her grandma's probably passed away already.
She had a later tweet where she was lamenting the death of a young person from COVID too. I wish I could find that quickly, but it's a good juxtaposition for the callousness of let's just be done with this and not care. And then turns out that it's not just 81-year-olds that are about to die anyway that are dying from this stuff.
Can we show that tweet again? Because there's something in there that juxtapose that with Mitch McConnell's comments that. Pro-America stories at the top, the first one. Yeah. Wholesome pro-America stories in juxtaposition to woke America. Like if you're diverse, you're not pro-America. If you're talking about diversity, you're not pro-America. Okay, Mitch McConnell. I do think this is like something they're going to start. We thought he was saying the quiet part out loud. I think they're going to say it out loud over and over again.
You're talking about when he said, if you look at the voting rolls, that Black Americans can vote at the same rate as Americans.
Yeah. Well, that was part of what I was trying to say about the clear casting choices there. And the moms are at home as they should be in that ad.
Yeah.
But she takes.
They don't have to bake though. Yeah. They can just sit around.
Which is not square.
Yeah, right. Like she'll go to the store and say, "This is my apple pie, but I actually bought it." Relatable.
It's do CrossFit too.
It's so hard to mom when you're indoctrinating your kids at the same time.